Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to welcome you all to today's highly anticipated webinar. We are thrilled to have a distinguished guest speaker with us today, who is expert in the investment world and brings a wealth of knowledge and experience. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to Mr. Aashish Somaiyaa, who will be our guest speaker today. Mr. Somaiyaa is currently the executive director and CEO at White Oak Capital Management. With an impressive 25 years of experience in business strategy, management, sales, distribution, and product development in the investment space. He has built a reputation as a visionary in wealth management. Prior to his role at White Oak, Ashish served as the managing director and CEO of Motilal Oswal Asset Management Company for nearly 8 years. Before that, he headed sales, distribution, and product development at ICICI Prudential AMC, overseeing their mutual fund, PMS, and real estate offering across India and Middle East region. Today, Mr. Somaiyaa will be sharing his perspective on a very relevant and timely topic: the art of staying invested, and why a slow start is a good start for SIP. As many of you are aware, SIP have become a highly effective and popular tool for wealth creation. However, due to market volatility, it's common for investors to pause or stop their SIP. But what's more important is to understand that due to market volatility, we may see a slow start, but it is crucial to stay invested for any investment strategy. Mr. Somaiyaa will share his valuable insight on why maintaining a steady and disciplined approach can lead to substantial long-term benefits. He will also offer a key perspective on how to successfully navigate today's and ever evolving market landscape. We are excited to learn from his expertise, and I'm sure today's session will provide all of us with a practical strategy to enhance our investment journey. And a small request to make here: we encourage all of you to actively participate and drop your question in chat box. We will try to address as many queries as possible during the FAQ session. Without further delay, I formally welcome Mr. Ashish. Ashish, stage is yours now.
Yeah, thank you very much, Samir. Can we request everybody to mute the lines, please, Samir? I think there is some disturbance problem.
I will ask host to mute all the participants.
Okay, so thank you very much, Samir, and the entire team at Axis Securities for inviting me today to speak on this topic. What I will do is, wherever required, I may share some slides or some data or information. But for the most part, I'll give a verbal, update on two things. One clearly is, like you rightly said, about the SIPs, the need for having a sustained and a disciplined approach to SIPs. And second, of course, is related to the market conditions, because obviously market conditions are the ones which really test people's patience and their commitment to remaining invested. So let's start with the market first, and then I will come to the part on SIPs. Because unless and until we don't give some perspective on the markets, it will be difficult for contextualizing the rest of the talk. Now, what I want to share with you is that while everybody has been very, very fixated in terms of market decline or that market has fallen, etc., let us first understand, just with a simple piece of data, let us first understand what exactly has been happening as far as the market is concerned. So, Samir, I would urge you, I'm putting up some slide here. Can you confirm to me if you can see the slide, Samir?
Yeah, Ashish, your slides are visible to us.
Yeah. Now, this is data which is updated as of 11th of February. Now, what I want to share, if anybody says, whenever people are talking about the market nowadays, what people are saying is that market has fallen a lot. First of all, before I start talking about this slide, I want everybody to understand one thing, which is that there's nothing extraordinary or there is no crazy fall which has really happened in the market. Every year once, the market falls 15-20% from its peak. Let me repeat that. Every year, literally every year, if you see, the market falls once 15-20% from its peak, and every 2 to 3 years, the market tends to make a new high. There's nothing new which is happening right now. So let me give you examples. Today, we are in February 2025. And after this so-called decline also, the Nifty is more like 22,000 kind of level. If you see, for instance, take last year, right? Even at that time, we were lower than the current valuation. We were lower than today. If you, instead of 2024, if you go to 2023, today also, as you can see on this slide, after what we call a big fall, 1 year return on Nifty is nearly 9%, right? Even if you see from 4th June 2024, the decline on the election day, from there also market is positive. If you see last 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, any time frame you see, there is a handsome return on the market, correct? That is first thing we should keep in mind. Second thing, like I said, कुछ नया नहीं हो रहा है. Every year, once the market falls 15-20% from the peak. For 2024, I gave an example. The low point came when 4th June election result came. If you go back to 2023, when Israel was attacked in October 2023, Nifty fell to 17,700. In 2023 itself, in March 2023, when people realized the existence of Silicon Valley Bank, Nifty fell to 16,600. उसके पहले अगर आप देखेंगे मई 2022 में, जून 2022 में निफ्टी वाज 15,200. सो व्हाट आई एम सेइंग इज दैट एवरी ईयर वंस ऊपर के लेवल से मार्केट 15-20% एक बार गिरता है. कारण हमेशा अलग अलग होता है.
कनक भाई ऐसे करना है.
2022 में लोगों को लगा कि भाई वर्ल्ड वॉर हो जाएगा. 2023 में लोगों को लगा ईरान और इजराइल का वॉर हो जाएगा, रशिया भी इन्वॉल्व हो जाएगा. फिर कभी लोगों को लगा कि चाइना ताइवान को अटैक कर देगा. फिर किसी को लगा कि एनडीए की सरकार हार जाएगी. अब लोगों को लग रहा है कि भाई एफआई है तो पूरा पैसा लेके निकल जाएंगे, मार्केट यूएस का ही चलेगा, हमारा मार्केट नहीं चलेगा. सो एवरी ईयर द रीजंस दैट वी डिस्कस, दोज रीजंस कीप चेंजिंग, बट एवरी ईयर फ्रॉम अ हाई पॉइंट मार्केट फॉल्स 15%, एंड एवरी सेकेंड थर्ड ईयर मार्केट मेक्स अ न्यू हाई. तो अभी भी भाई कोई नया चीज हुआ नहीं है. व्हाट इज हैपनिंग इन द मार्केट इज नॉर्मल. दैट इज वन थिंग वी शुड कीप इन माइंड. देयर इज नो रीजन टू पैनिक. सेकेंड थिंग, तो ये तो बात हो गई निफ्टी की, दैट निफ्टी अपने ऊपर के लेवल से अभी भी केवल 10% डाउन है. इट्स नॉट सम क्रेजी नंबर. हाँ, ये बात जरूर है कि मार्केट का कुछ हिस्सा ऐसा है जो काफी गिरा है. नाउ टेक एन एग्जांपल that let us say you are talking from 52-week high and this is still last week. You take BSE utilities, तो 29% डाउन. यू टेक डिफेंस, अभी और गिरा होगा बट ये पिछले हफ्ते तक 29% डाउन था. एनर्जी, पीएसयू बैंक, ऑयल एंड गैस, रियल एस्टेट, कमोडिटीज. सो ऊपर आपको क्या दिख रहा है? ऑल द थिंग्स व्हिच हैव फॉलन अ लॉट फ्रॉम द 52-week हाई, they have all fallen between 20 to 30%. And what is the problem? The problem is that if you see last 2, 3 and 5 years, जिन चीजों में बहुत ज्यादा रिटर्न बना था, वही चीजें 52-week हाई से अब सबसे ज्यादा गिरी हैं. The things which have given the highest return in last 2 to 3 years, those are the things which have now fallen the most. And the problem is that in people's portfolios, these things are very heavy in everybody's portfolio. Now you come to the lower part. सबसे कम क्या गिरा है? IT. financial services, healthcare, banking, private sector banks, ESG, good governance, these things have fallen less. तो भाई पिछले 3 साल 5 साल में इन सब चीजों का रिटर्न भी तो कम आया था. सो व्हाट वी शुड कीप इन माइंड, ये जो मार्केट में ओवरऑल अगर आप निफ्टी को देखते हैं, अगर आप स्मॉल कैप को भी देखते हैं, तो कोई भी इंडेक्स जो है उसमें देयर इज नथिंग विच इज अनयूजुअली हैपनिंग. नथिंग अनयूजुअल इज हैपनिंग इन द मार्केट. द ओनली थिंग अनयूजुअल विच इज हैपनिंग इज दैट पिछले 3 4 साल में लोगों के पोर्टफोलियो में यूटिलिटीज, एनर्जी, डिफेंस, पीएसयू बैंक, ये सब बहुत भर भर के लोगों ने ले लिया. दोज आर द थिंग्स विच आर फॉलिंग. और अब लोगों के पोर्टफोलियो में प्राइवेट सेक्टर बैंक, आईटी, कंज्यूमर, हेल्थ केयर, ये सब है नहीं लोगों के पोर्टफोलियो में. And these things are the ones which are actually outperforming. So now I have only two things to say, two lessons or two things to keep in mind about the market. First thing, it is important कि भाई जो चीजें तेजी में होती है ना, केवल पोर्टफोलियो में वही लेंगे, उसी को पकड़ के बैठेंगे, तो our portfolio becomes very risky. In the last 3 years, बच्चा जिसको मार्केट के बारे में कुछ नहीं पता है, वो भी बोलता था प्राइवेट सेक्टर बैंक नहीं चलेंगे, आईटी कंपनीज नहीं चलेंगी. These kind of things people are saying. Now what has happened? In last 1 year, ये सब जो सेक्टर बहुत चल रहा था उसमें पिटाई हो रही है. लास्ट 1 year का बेस्ट परफॉर्मिंग सेक्टर अगर आप देखोगे, बिगर सेक्टर्स आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट, सो व्हाट यू विल फाइंड हेल्थ केयर, प्राइवेट सेक्टर बैंक्स, आईटी. सो जिन चीजों को लोगों ने राइट ऑफ कर दिया था, गिरावट में वो आउट परफॉर्म कर रही है. जिन चीजों के ऊपर लोगों ने चढ़ चढ़ के बहुत ज्यादा एलोकेशन किया, those things are falling a lot and they are underperforming. So there are two things to keep in mind. One is that market has not fallen as much as what people are making it out to be. Market has fallen 10-15% from the peak. Small cap has fallen a little bit more now. But what is the problem? The problem is कि जितने भी cyclical, PSU driven, macro policy, public policy driven जो sectors हैं, वो बहुत गिरे हैं. और जो sectors underperform कर रहे थे या जिसको लोगों ने write off कर दिया था, they are actually outperforming. So instead of focusing on the index, you please focus on your portfolio. अगर आपके पोर्टफोलियो में जरूरत से ज्यादा अगर आपके पोर्टफोलियो में होना चाहिए उससे ज्यादा सिक्लिकल्स है, होना चाहिए उससे ज्यादा पीएसयूज, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, एनर्जी, यूटिलिटीज है, एंड इफ योर पोर्टफोलियो इज अंडरवेट इन, सी मार्केट अभी भी 60% मार्केट हमारा बैंकिंग, फार्मा, हेल्थ केयर, कंज्यूमर, आईटी, यही सब है. मार्केट अभी भी 60-65% लार्ज कैप ही है. So anybody who is a neutral weight investor should ensure that their portfolio is not overexposed to small cap and not overexposed to cyclical and contrarian cyclical PSU or macro policy, public policy driven sectors. So as far as the market is concerned, one thing I want to highlight, market has not fallen so much. Maybe what you have in your portfolio, which was all the high beta, aggressive, cyclical stocks, they have fallen a lot. And the stocks which are actually the core of the market, they have not fallen as much as people are believing it. So make sure that your portfolio is diversified, make sure your portfolio is well balanced, and you have respect for the market structure. Market structure में अभी भी 60-65% large cap है. Market structure में अभी भी बैंक, consumer, pharma, healthcare, ये सब IT, अभी भी ये सब 60-65% है. तो जो मार्केट का बेसिक कंस्ट्रक्ट है उसको माइंड में रख के चलिए. The whole market is not made up of PSU, defense, infra and utilities. The whole market is not made up only of small cap stocks, right? So make sure that your portfolio is well balanced, your portfolio is diversified. The second thing, when market falls, everybody has a tendency कि भाई पिछले तेजी में जहां पे पैसा बना था, the things which were outperforming, उन्हीं चीजों को हम अब जो वो सबसे ज्यादा गिर रहा है. So in the market, people have a tendency that the thing which has gone up a lot and which is now falling the most, people tend to average in that. My past experience is different. My past experience shows कि जो चीजें कम गिरती हैं, अगली तेजी में वो ही आउट परफॉर्म करता है. 2021 में सबसे ज्यादा आउट परफॉर्मेंस था आईटी. So in 2022 when the market fell, IT fell the most. When market started to go up, what went up? IT didn't go up. It was all the cyclicals and PSUs. For 2-3 years, cyclical and PSU gave very good return. Now in the market fall, cyclical and PSU is falling the most, but IT, pharma, healthcare, Private sector banks, they are not falling. So if there is a bull run, you will see a rotation in the market. Instead of focusing on the market, please focus what is falling more, what is falling less, what type of things we should be having in our portfolio. The best thing is to ensure that you have 50-60% of the portfolio in large cap, and best thing is to ensure that you stick to diversified funds instead of only staying with the winners of the previous cycle. This is one thing which is very, very important to keep in mind. I'll stop sharing now. Coming to the second part, which I wanted to share about the market. See, our decline in the market, it started September 2024, market ka peak ho. After September 2024 is when we saw the market declining. First, there was some news that money is going to get allocated to China. China is announcing some stimulus. No doubt, last 6 months, China has done well. That's fine. But ultimately, market, Mr. Trump's election, there was a Trump trade. Right-wing, business-friendly president talking about making America great again, getting all the manufacturing back into America, engendering $500 billion worth of investment in AI, talking about cutting taxes, talking about correcting America's trade balance. So, because of that, there has been an excitement in the market. And since the time ChatGPT and OpenAI has been announced, the US market is on an AI-driven rally. Now, obviously, if the US market is doing very, very well, and if more flows are being attracted into the US market, it's understandable that the dollar will appreciate. When dollar appreciates, other emerging market currencies, they see a relative depreciation. And other emerging markets have from pretty much all the emerging markets across the board. It's not just India. इसके लिए भी मैं आपको एक, I would like to share some data with you out here. Just bear with me for a moment. Now, what you will see here on this slide is basically that if you see, this is India, right? And these are other emerging markets: Brazil, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, South Korea, Taiwan, Thailand, Vietnam. What you will find is that if you see, this is 2010 to 2024. This is January 2025. I mean, 2010 to 2024, आप देखो, these are 15 years. In these 15 years, India is negative 1, 2, 3, 4 times. And when money comes, see the size of the amount of the money that has come in. So first of all, and you can see Brazil, multiple times negative, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, South Korea, Taiwan, Thailand. You can see practically every other emerging market from time to time has seen outflows. In fact, the frequency of outflows is more in other markets compared to India. And the volume of money when it comes into India is very high. And the outflow when it goes down, barring 1 or 2 instances, the outflow is also very, very small. So FIIs have always liked to invest in India. India is a darling for FIIs. And ऐसा कोई भारी outflow या केवल India में outflow हो रहा है ऐसा नहीं है. There was a rally which has started in the US, and money has moved practically from pretty much from most emerging markets. It has moved into US. That has caused a rally in the US dollar. Now let's understand one thing. It's very simple. It's forget FIIs and all. If you want to send money to US, let's say you have sister, brother, some relative, somebody, you want to send money to US maybe for education, whatever it is. If you want to send money, you realize that for every $1, you have to pay 84 rupees. Next week, you say, अगले हफ्ते करते हैं. For some reason, you are delayed. Next week, you go 85 rupees. Next week, you go 86 rupees. Next week, you go 87 rupees. So what you find is that, अरे भाई, अगर डिले करेंगे तो हर एक डॉलर के लिए बहुत रुपया देना पड़ेगा. So you will prepone your sending money. Now take a reverse example. Instead of sending money, you have to receive money. Let's say your brother or sister is sending you money, and they say, okay, how much do I have to pay for every $1? How much I will get? You say 84. अगले हफ्ते 85. अगले हफ्ते 86. What your sister or brother will say, ठीक है, अगले महीने भेजते हैं, तब तक 88 हो जाएगा या 89 हो जाएगा. So whenever the rupee starts depreciating, we have to understand, whenever rupee starts depreciating, people who have to send money out, they will prepone. And people who have to send money in, they will postpone. So this is the challenge. This is something which we should keep in mind, that whenever the rupee is unstable, FII flow will get held back. Any money which was going to go out will go out faster, and any money which was supposed to come in will get delayed. So our problems have started with the US. ये 5.4% GDP growth वगैरह, on that the government, RBI, everybody is working on it. And I think आने वाले 2 quarters में हमारा domestic performance तो improve हो जाएगा. But our problem did not start with our domestic performance. Our problem started with the US rally and the outflow from because of US. My sense is that is about to get corrected. वो ऐसे लंबे समय तक ऐसा चलेगा नहीं. In the next couple of months, you will see the impact of whatever Mr. Trump is doing. You will see the US market cooling off. Already people are asking them questions on their AI investment. DeepSeek has already made it difficult for them. So I think in the next couple of months or 3-4 months, at some point in time this year, you will find that the US market, the US dollar, all of that cools off, and you will find the rupee stabilizing, and you will find the FII flow actually normalizing in the next few months. अब क्या होता है कि there is one saying in English that all past corrections are missed opportunities. So 2020 March 2020 में इन्वेस्ट करना चाहिए था, it's a missed opportunity. मई 2022 में इन्वेस्ट करना चाहिए था, इट्स अ मिस्ड अपॉर्चुनिटी. मार्च 2023 में इन्वेस्ट करना चाहिए था, इट्स अ मिस्ड अपॉर्चुनिटी. अक्टूबर 2023 में इन्वेस्ट करना चाहिए था, इट्स अ मिस्ड अपॉर्चुनिटी. फरवरी 2025 में भी इन्वेस्ट करना चाहिए था, अगले साल आप क्या बोलेंगे? इट्स अ मिस्ड अपॉर्चुनिटी. सो आई थिंक दैट ऑल पास्ट करेक्शंस आर लाइक मिस्ड अपॉर्चुनिटीज एक्सेप्ट फॉर दिस वन. अभी जो करेक्शन चल रहा है, इसको आप 1 साल बाद, 2 साल बाद मिस्ड अपॉर्चुनिटी बोलेंगे, या आप बोलेंगे इट्स ए अपॉर्चुनिटी विच यू कैप्चर्ड. दैट इज लेफ्ट टू यू. अब अपॉर्चुनिटी कैप्चर करना है या नहीं करना है वो तो आपके ऊपर है. बट कमिंग टू द पॉइंट ऑफ SIP, तो आप ये अपॉर्चुनिटी वगैरह को साइड पे रखिए. द पॉइंट इज दैट पीपल हु आर डूइंग SIP, see there are two fundamental reasons for doing SIP. First is that कि भाई most of us we have some or the other monthly income. जो लोग कोई कारोबार भी करते हैं वो भी हर महीने अपने कारोबार में से कुछ पैसा निकालते हैं घर चलाने के लिए, या कुछ लोग नौकरी करते हैं. So people have some or the other monthly income, and if they are handling their finances properly, then their expense should be less than their income, and they should be left with some savings. So हर महीने कुछ ना कुछ बचत करना चाहिए, चाहे वो रिकरिंग डिपॉजिट है, चाहे वो आपका NPS या पेंशन फंड है. Everybody has some monthly income, and if they're doing the things correctly, the expense will be less than the income. So every month people have to save something. That is why we say do SIP. And secondly, अगर आप इक्विटी की बात करते हैं, तो इक्विटी मार्केट by nature is volatile. Equity market by nature is volatile. So if equity market by nature is volatile, that means you don't know what is the level to invest. You know, it's better that you average out and you invest at every level. So anyway people have monthly income to save, and anyway equity में lump sum करने के बजाय regularly हर month करेंगे, तो it will be safer and you will get the average of the prices. So the simple thing to keep in mind is that equity में invest करने का या कोई भी saving करने का सबसे सही तरीका यही है कि आप SIP करें. और मार्केट में कभी ना कभी ऐसा दौर आएगा जब मार्केट गिरेगा, यही सोच के तो हम SIP करते हैं. जब मार्केट गिरेगा तब SIP कंटिन्यू नहीं करेंगे, तो SIP करने का क्या लाभ मिलेगा? व्हाट इज द यूज ऑफ डूइंग SIP? एट द फर्स्ट साइन ऑफ ट्रबल, if we are not going to continue our SIP, then what is the point in doing SIP? It defeats the very purpose. So SIP should definitely be continued. In fact, SIP should be topped up. Right? Now coming to one last important point. A lot of people say कि अरे भाई हमने 2024 में पिछले 1 साल से हम SIP कर रहे हैं, 1 साल में हमने 12 इंस्टॉलमेंट डाल दिए, लेकिन हमारा SIP का रिटर्न अभी नेगेटिव आ रहा है, तो हम क्या करें? So see, nobody is supposed to do SIP for 1 year, right? I'll give an example. Let us say Sameer is here. Sameer is doing one SIP, and my colleague Nitin is also here. Let us say that I am the mutual fund advisor, and I tell Sameer and Nitin, both of them, कि भाई आप 10 साल का SIP करो, and we will meet after 5 years के बाद हम लोग रिव्यू करेंगे इसको. पहले आप 10 साल का SIP स्टार्ट करो. तो 10 साल का SIP स्टार्ट करते हैं एंड 5 इयर्स के बाद उसका रिव्यू रखते हैं। अब 5 इयर्स के बाद जब मैं इनको रिव्यू के लिए बुलाता हूँ, तो समीर साहब जो हैं वो मेरे से बहुत नाराज हैं। ही इज वेरी अनहैप्पी विथ मी, सेइंग कि भाई मैं 5 साल से SIP कर रहा हूँ, 5 साल में मैंने 60 इंस्टॉलमेंट डाल दिए, एक एक हजार का 60 इंस्टॉलमेंट डाला, तो 60,000 रुपया डाला। अभी एक एक हजार का 60 इंस्टॉलमेंट मैंने डाल दिया 5 साल में, और अब इसकी वैल्यू है 80,000। तो आपने बहुत ही बकवास रिकमेंडेशन मेरे को दिया। आई एम नॉट हैप्पी विथ यू एट ऑल। अगर ये पैसा बैंक में रहता तो ज्यादा बेटर रहता मेरे लिए। तो 5 साल के एंड में जो रिव्यू होता है उसमें समीर साहब बहुत नाराज है। नितिन जो है वो भी आते हैं 5 साल के बाद, वो बहुत खुश है। वो बोलते हैं अरे साहब आपने क्या बढ़िया एडवाइस दिया, यू आर अ ग्रेट गाय, थैंक यू वेरी वेरी मच। वो मिठाई लेके आते हैं मेरे लिए। वो बोलते हैं कि भाई पिछले 5 साल में 60 मंथ्स में मैंने 60,000 डाला, आज उसका वैल्यू हो गया 1.5 लाख रुपया। तो आपने तो कमाल ही कर दिया। यू हैव हेल्प मी टू ग्रो माई मनी सो मच, आई एम वेरी हैप्पी। अब समीर साहब 5 साल के बाद नाराज है और नितिन बहुत खुश है। अब मैं इनको बोलता हूँ भाई नाराज है खुश है चलिए ठीक है, you had committed that you will do SIP for 10 years. So you have to continue for 10 years. We will do the review after 10 years. Now take a guess. When I meet them after 10 years, when I meet them after 5 years, समीर साहब नाराज है, नितिन खुश है। अब मैं इनको 10 साल के बाद मिलने के लिए बुला रहा हूं। अब कौन नाराज होएगा और कौन खुश होएगा, people have to guess. Now, of course, unfortunately, I am not sitting in front of you in person, so I cannot ask you to guess, and I cannot conduct, I cannot tell you what is your, raise your hands and tell me. But what is your guess? At the end of 5 years, Sameer is very unhappy with the investment, Nitin is very happy with the investment. At the end of 10 years, what will be the result? देखो क्या है, at the end of 10 years, Sameer is going to be the winner. The reason is very simple. In the first 5 years, why he was unhappy? Because he did not get returns even after putting 60 installments. Why he did not get returns? Because the NAV did not move. The NAV was low and it remained low. NAV did not move. He kept on investing, he kept on collecting units, but the NAV did not move. What happened with Nitin? The moment he started investing, the NAV started to go up. So he's getting lesser number of units. Now at the end of 10 years, मार्केट तो मार्केट है, ऊपर नीचे साइकिल आते रहते हैं. At the end of 10 years, what will happen in Sameer's investment? Whatever change of NAV or whatever appreciation he is going to get, he will get on a very high number of units. What is going to happen to Nitin? Whatever appreciation he gets, he is going to get on a lower number of units. So ultimately at the end of 10 years, Sameer will get a higher return as compared to Nitin. Now instead of telling all this verbally, let me just show you a simple example on the screen so you will be able to understand what I am talking. Just give me a minute. Now see what this chart shows. This is the chart which I was verbally describing. 10-year SIP average, what it says. When average SIP return for the first 5 years is less than 8%, then by the time it reaches 10 years, the CAGR is 18.7%. If average SIP for the first 5 years return is more than 8%, then at the end of 10 years, it will end at 14.9. This is not some mutual fund. We have done this on Sensex. So again, I'm repeating. Anybody who has done SIP for 10 years, अगर पहले 5 साल का रिटर्न 8% से नीचे है, तो 10 साल के एंड में बढ़िया रिटर्न दिखता है. अगर पहले 5 साल का रिटर्न 8 के ऊपर है, तो 10 साल का रिटर्न एवरेज दिखता है, बहुत हाई नहीं दिखता है. That is why what it says that for an SIP, a slow start is a good start. अगर आप लॉन्ग टर्म इन्वेस्टर हैं, तो शुरुआत में आप तो चाहते हैं ना कि NAV नीचे रहेगा और आपके बहुत सारे यूनिट्स कलेक्ट होंगे. So today is the time to increase your SIP or top up your SIP, because a slow start is a good start. Ultimately, you are going to benefit because when the NAV is low, you collect more units. So these are the things I wanted to share with you. Thank you for listening me out. I'll stop here and hand back to Samir if he has any questions.
Ashish, before this session we started, we have collected some of the question from our customer as well as from employee. If you allow us, then can I ask those questions to you?
Of course, please.
Yeah, first question is you have already covered. The first question was, given the recent market decline, is it good time to increase SIP or for lump sum, or should investor remain cautious? So partially you have already covered, but Ashish, one question, is it a good time to start lump sum investment?
See, lump sum, I would say, जैसा मैंने बताया ना, our problem started with US.
Yeah.
I would wait for that to end. तो lump sum तो I would not be very aggressive. I would say systematic transfer, मतलब आप liquid में पैसा डालो, अगले 3-4 महीने में switch करो. Already market काफी गिरा है, बट क्या होता है, एक बार मार्केट नीचे की तरफ का मोमेंटम पकड़ता है ना, तो कहाँ जाके रुकेगा ये फोरकास्ट करना मेरे लिए पॉसिबल नहीं है. So yes, I think the market is coming to realistic levels. Valuations are definitely not as crazy as what it used to be. So this is a good time to start investing, but don't do lump sum. Spread your money over the next 3 to 4 months. That is what my suggestion is. I can just put it simply. Second half of 2025 will be better than first half of 2025 according to me. And 1 year from now we'll be in a much better situation than what we are right now. That is my suggestion.
Ashish ji, we have commonly seen that retail investor are gung about sectorial fund, momentum fund, and all, right? Because they have seen the good return in past, so they prefer to invest in sectorial fund. So one question is on the similar line. Say one question we have got: do you believe that this is a good time to start SIP in sectorial fund? If so, which sector looks promising for SIP right now?
देखो क्या है, ये थीमेटिक और सेक्टोरल फंड्स में है ना, सबसे पहले हमको ये ध्यान रखना चाहिए कि जो थीम में हम इन्वेस्ट करते हैं ना, वो या तो बाजार का एक बड़ा पार्ट होना चाहिए या बड़ा पार्ट होने का पोटेंशियल होना चाहिए. सो अगर आप मुझे थीमेटिक्स पूछते हैं ना, तो मेरे को खाली लगता है कि 4 या 5 ही थीम रेलेवेंट है. एक है बैंकिंग एंड फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज, एक है मैन्युफैक्चरिंग, एक है कंज्यूमर, एक है हेल्थ केयर, और जैसे हमने अभी फैक्टर बेस्ड बनाया क्वालिटी इक्विटी, क्योंकि लंबे अरसे में हाई क्वालिटी, गुड क्वालिटी, गुड गवर्नेंस, फ्री कैश फ्लो, ROIC मोर देन कॉस्ट ऑफ कैपिटल. सो जैसा मैं जैसे IT एंड डिजिटल, सो आई जस्ट सम अप फॉर यू. जो थीम कंसिडर करना चाहिए, that has to be a big enough theme of the market. So I said banking and financial, IT and digital companies, healthcare, then I mentioned consumer, manufacturing, like I said we done quality equity. तो ऐसे 4-5 थीम है जिसको मैं थीम बोलता हूँ. अगर कोई बोलेगा डिफेंस, फिर कोई बोलेगा ट्रांसपोर्टेशन एंड लॉजिस्टिक्स, फिर कोई बोलेगा ऑटो एंड ऑटो एंसिलरी. ये मार्केट का बहुत नैरो हिस्सा हो जाता है, इसके साइकिल्स बहुत लंबे चलते हैं. इसको अगर आपने ऊपर के लेवल में ले लिया और अगर वो डाउन साइकिल में चला गया, तो पैसा आने में 5 साल लगेगा वापस, कभी 10 साल लग सकता है. जो लोग ने 1999 2000 में IT कंपनीज में पैसा डाला, तभी IT वाज नॉट अ बिग पार्ट ऑफ द मार्केट. IT वाज नॉट अ मैच्योर सेक्टर. 10 साल तक पैसा नहीं आया. फिर 2007 में लोगों ने इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में डाला, तो भी 2017-18 तक रिकवर नहीं हुआ. अब इस साइकिल में जाके रिकवर हुआ है. So first is that if you are identifying a theme, it should be a theme, it should be broad based. It should, मतलब भाई ऐसा तो थीम चुनो कि जिसमें कोई 20-25 स्टॉक का पोर्टफोलियो बना सके. There are so many themes and sectors people are launching, उसमें एक ठीक से पोर्टफोलियो नहीं बन पाएगा. So if you are investing in a theme, I don't see anything wrong with it, but it has to be reasonably large theme in which somebody can make a portfolio which is a big part of the market or has potential to become a big part of the market, and it is sustainable. दूसरा चीज, थीम में तभी इन्वेस्ट करो आफ्टर इट इज अंडर परफॉर्म, नॉट आफ्टर इट इज गिविंग हाई 5 year CAGR. सी आप समझो एक चीज, जैसा मैंने अभी आपको बताया, अभी जैसे आप देखो डिफेंस, तो डिफेंस के फंड लॉन्च हुए 2024 में. अब भाई डिफेंस का फंड जब 2024 में लॉन्च हुआ ना, उसके पहले उसका 5 year CAGR 45 to 50% कंपाउंडेड था. अभी जिस चीज का 5 year CAGR 40-50% बन चुका है, उसमें आप खरीदेंगे तो वो तो रिटर्न तो उसका चला गया ना. देयर इज अ फ्रेज इन इंग्लिश व्हिच सेज यू हैव टू शूट वेयर द रैबिट विल बी. If you shoot where the rabbit was 2 years back, how will you make money? So first you need a broad theme. Second, you need a theme which is big part of the market or can become big part of the market. Third, you have to invest in a theme after it has underperformed, not after it is blowing the lights out. And last thing is that yes, SIP कर सकते हैं, but the conditions for doing thematics I have already explained to you.
It was really insightful. I guess investor will definitely now, before investing into any sectoral fund, they will definitely consider your advice and hope they'll make an informed decision here. Ashish, one more question, which we have gathered, which we have from our within our team. Say, of lately, we have seen that momentum category which has been introduced, and a lot of people they have invested into momentum uh, mutual fund, right? Momentum category mutual fund. Now, when market was up, they have given a good, they have generated a good return. But in last couple of months, they have seen you can say that the negative return, which was not which was worse than the worse performance than the their benchmarks.
Yeah.
So, what is your intake on this? They are asking what is your perspective to this? Should they be continue with this kind of fancy fund, or they should simply stick with the diversified fund?
You see, जो मतलब आई एम नॉट अथॉरिटी. हमारा कोई मोमेंटम फंड है, हमारा कोई मोमेंटम फंड है नहीं, एंड आई वुड नॉट क्लेम टू बी एन अथॉरिटी ऑन दिस. बट मेरा बोलने का केवल इतना है कि मोमेंटम जो मुझे समझ में आता है, मोमेंटम नीड्स अ ट्रेंडिंग मार्केट. इट नीड्स सम ट्रेंड इन द मार्केट व्हिच वन कैन कंसिस्टेंटली. अब क्या पिछले 6 महीने में मार्केट पूरा मिक्सअप हो गया है. मतलब आईटी में बड़ी कंपनियां नहीं चल रही है, लेकिन स्मॉल एंड मिड कैप आईटी चल रहा है. फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज में बड़े बैंक्स चलने लगे, लेकिन स्मॉल कैप मिड कैप बैंक्स खराब कर रहे हैं. सी, पिछले 2-3 साल जब मोमेंटम चला, तब क्या हो रहा था? अगर आपका नाम पीएसयू है, चल रहा है तो सब चल रहा है, नहीं चल रहा है कुछ नहीं चल रहा है. So when there is a very discernible trend in the market, then what I understand is that momentum tends to thrive. But when the market becomes mixed like this, when it's like a stock picker's market and the market performance is mixed up, it's going nowhere, it's not trending in any direction, then I think it becomes difficult. So I think these are slightly high risk strategies here. And I'm I'm not a big fan of. दूसरा क्या है कि ये सब इसको हम बोलते हैं सिंगल फैक्टर स्ट्रेटजी. राइट. तो सिंगल फैक्टर स्ट्रेटजी अगर आप बोलेंगे ना, तो भाई वो चलेगा तो ठीक है, वरना आप मैदान के बाहर. सो आई थिंक वन हैज टू बी केयरफुल एंड कॉशियस, and start with small money. You see how it works, and then only if you understand it and you're comfortable, then you should get into it. जो आम आदमी बोलते हैं, जिसको नॉर्मल म्यूचुअल फंड इन्वेस्टर जो हैं, सबके काम का या सबके बस का है नहीं ये समझने का.
True. Ashish, if time permits, can I take one more question?
Please, yes.
There's a question from Mr. Surya. He is asking how to decide where to invest through SIP.
Sorry, how to decide?
Where to invest through SIP?
Where?
कहाँ इन्वेस्ट करना चाहिए?
आई थिंक तो आप एडवाइस कर सकते हैं, मतलब आपका म्यूचुअल फंड्स का आपका जो भी सिलेक्शन या रिकमेंडेड लिस्ट होगा. बट आई थिंक बेस्ट वे इज टू इन्वेस्ट इन इक्विटी म्यूचुअल फंड्स रेगुलरली एंड कंसिस्टेंटली. आई थिंक दैट वुड बी द आइडियल.
Yeah. So can I chip in here, Ashish?
Please, वही मैं बोल रहा हूँ, because you will be more appropriately equipped to answer rather than me.
Yeah. So सूर्य जी, यहाँ पे जब भी आप इन्वेस्ट करने के लिए सोचते हो, so there are 3 things which you have to consider. First is what is your time horizon. Second, what is your risk appetite, and the third most important thing is what kind of or maybe in a way, if you are clear about your risk and time horizon, then what is your goal. So based on all, while you have to consider all this parameter, and you have to select a scheme which is perfect for you to meet all this aspect. अगर ये तीन चीज आपके मिल रहे हैं, then it would be a good choice, or that could be the scheme which can help you to achieve your financial goal. So आप ये तीन चीज कंसिडर करके, चाहे वो इक्विटी भी हो सकता है, डायरेक्ट इक्विटी हो सकता है, हाइब्रिड भी हो सकता है, या डेट भी हो सकता है, बट दैट यू हैव टू कंसिडर, लाइक नो, बिफोर इन्वेस्टिंग यू हैव टू कंसिडर ऑल दिस थ्री एस्पेक्ट्स. So, Ashish, thank you so much. I guess we
Thank
are
you.
ending the session. Thank you so much. Before, like, no, I formally end this session, I would like to cover what, like, no, summarize what we talked about. First is that you have shared the the data, like, no, positive data points that uh, historically market, like, no, historically market correction often turn out to be a missed opportunity for investor. So if you consider all this thing, trust me, you have to consider while investing all this point, and I'm sure our investor will make informed decision. Thank you so much, this session, thank you so much for your insightful session, and it will definitely help our investor to take informed decision. uh, and last note for our customer, guys, if you like our, if you really wanted to be in participating in such kind of informative webinar, do like and subscribe our channel, so you'll be in, you'll get notified before we start our this kind of webinar. Thank you so much, Ashish. And we'll hope we will have another this kind of engaging session in future. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.